Donald Trump is a stark raving lunatic. Now, we should have figured that out when he started calling Democrats radical left lunatics. I mean, if wasn't enough, or E. Jean Carroll, or grab them by the pussy, or they're eating the dogs. If the attempted overthrow of the United States government wasn't enough, I can't imagine what it would take to nail down the fact that Donald Trump is a stark raving lunatic. I should be posting something like anything more frequently, but I'm overwhelmed by the sheer tonnage of outrage porn coming from this, whatever you want to call it. But in order to make any sense of what Trump might be doing requires analysts to break down and explain the mind of a person suffering from cross-sectional mental illnesses and who is, in addition to those mental illnesses, a stark raving lunatic. A moth-eaten pig fucker, if you will. Now, I need to make it perfectly clear here that I'm not making an accusation. I have no evidence whatsoever to suggest that Donald Trump has, ever in his life, fucked a pig. But he did declare war on Iran on behalf of Benjamin Netanyahu and didn't tell anyone until it was already too late to stop it, which is a technique he often uses, successfully I might add. He murdered Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, sending the Middle East into chaos as if it wasn't in enough chaos already. And then he fired Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem because she threw him under the bus by testifying under oath in Congress that he authorized her to spend $220 million of taxpayers' money to her husband on what amounts to YouTube influencer videos of herself. Donald Trump is clearly of the mind that throwing people under the bus and grifting off of the taxpayers' money is his job, not hers, so she's got to go. Trump then appointed Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen to head DHS in Ice Barbie's place, shrinking the already razor-thin Republican majority in the Senate. Meanwhile, Mullen, now at DHS, doesn't seem to know whether what's happening in Iran is a war or not. In his defense, he was able to nail down the fact that war is a terrible thing, so, there's that. As a matter of fact, there is no consensus among the mafia prefects in the White House about anything related to the war in Iran. We're hearing 4 different reasons why we had to declare the war to begin with, let alone settle on what we're going to call it. Wait a minute, wasn't it just like several months ago when Donald Trump bombed Iran's nuclear capabilities out of existence? I mean, I remember him telling us in June last year that he had completely, totally obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities. We can't have nuclear weapons in the hands of a government run by crazy people, he said, without a trace of irony. And one of his televised cabinet meetings where cult members appear required to publicly press their noses directly and firmly against Donald Trump's incontinent sphincter. The problem is that damn Constitution again. The Constitution says that the power to declare war rests with the Congress and not the president. Trump doesn't want anything to do with Congress because, there are Democrats in there. He wants to sidestep Congress altogether because he doesn't want Democrats using, laws and stuff to mess with his plans to rearrange the entire planet to his liking. Then we learn that a group of military leaders, including Secretary of Defense P.D. Kegsbreath, are telling troops that the war in Iran is ordained by God according to the Bible and will bring about Armageddon, during which time Jesus will return to earth and save all the Christians. Now, this stark raving lunatic told the press on Saturday that he will be taking on Cuba next. His attack on Venezuela cut off their supply of oil, which will cause Cuba to collapse, and they should be anxious to make a deal with Donald Trump for their survival. But Trump doesn't actually make deals. He sets up harmful situations for people he doesn't fancy and then issues ultimatums, like Don Corleone in the Godfather. One thing is clear. The current leadership of the United States has descended into madness. I'm talking about the entire White House, led by a stark, raving lunatic. And with that, I'm GL Franklyn for the View from Out Here. Much love.